All right, guys, what is up? Back again, yet again, with another video. And this one is the big one, guys. This is the big one, the biggest of all of the Dualtron Storm series videos, okay? So, this is the 1 year mark of the Dualtron Storm. Yes, 1 year. Okay, this scooter has been ridden for 365 days, every single day, like pretty much all day, like as if you would use your car, 7 days a week, every day. All right. I like to take the time out to thank everybody who watched all my videos, who went through this journey with me with this Dualtron scooter. Oh my goodness. And you guys know I've had other scooters too. I had weped SS, I had a turbo wheel, all the way back to the, my Alibaba scooter, man. So yeah, man, it's just crazy that, the time flew by so fast and how much I've ridden the shit out of this scooter as it could show, and it's rolling, so I'm going to get into, whatever's good, whatever's bad, I mean, I love the Dualtrons and all that, but I love other scooters too, that I just don't have. I'm not rich. I can't afford to have an arsenal of scooters like some of the top reviewers. I can't. I have to make a decision based off of my preference and, my needs and what suits me, not just for speed, not just for, looks or whatever. It has to encompass every single thing that I need. And, for me personally at this time, and back then, it was the Dualtron, that's the one that fits all my needs, so, which I've mentioned a lot in previous videos, but there are a lot of great scooters out there, a lot of good brands like the V-Set, Wolf Warrior, or Wolf King GT, whatever it is now. You got the wepeds, you got the Ryan, which is the top dog. And then there's also a lot of other up and coming scooters too. You know what I mean? You got the Nami. There's a ton, dude. You just gotta, make your pick and review each scooter and see which one suits, best for you. What is your preference? Because a lot of these scooters are about preference. And this scooter has issues, dude. Dualtrons are not perfect, dude. Wolf King, whatever the fuck it is, dude. None of them are perfect. V-Set, they're all going to have their issues, okay? And they're all going to have their benefits and their downsides, That's why you research and you tell yourself, well, this suits the best for me. But there's no such thing as a perfect scooter, okay? I don't care how popular the brand is, period. So, what can we get into? Well, first things first, let's get into, some good honorable mentions from, small time, content makers like myself that may not be seen as much, but are being seen as coming up. Because, that's all I look at. I like to look at other people, coming up, some good information. Shout out to 77. If you guys haven't seen any of 77's videos, he makes some good videos, man. He rides unicycles too, but he also rides scooters. And he made a nice little comprehensive video recently on the Wolf Warrior. Some mods that he did to it, some pretty cool stuff that he did. Check out his video. Yeah, check him out. He made, I don't know, he made some other scooter video with some good info on that I seen a long time ago that I really liked or whatever, and I found him. He has a very small following like me, but he has some really cool videos. Check that out. If you have a Wolf Warrior, check his video out. I forgot what he said, but he talked about some good mods on there too. And I think he has a Ryan curve throttle on there too, so check that guy out as well. Also, shout out to Kizi ewheels. He just made a video talking about how to install the split rim to the scooter, to the Dualtron, because he has a Dualtron like me. He shows you how to put it together step by step. very comprehensive. If you want a split rim, I have the original rim that does not split, so you got to squeeze it on there. But if you prefer that, you know, check his video out, because he just put on the tires that I recommended, and he really liked them. So yeah, check that out if you want to know how to put on some split rims. It's a good video. So yeah, what can we get into on this 1 year Dualtron Storm video? Okay guys, so first of all, this is gonna be a long ass video. So if you don't like long videos, I don't think you should watch this one. But this video is gonna be long because it's gonna be packed with information, okay? I don't come from the small attention span era. I come from an era where attention span is large. I could sit down and watch a long video. I like long videos. So if you don't like long videos, you shouldn't watch this. But if you don't, you'll be missing out on a lot of valuable, useful information. Okay? Okay, so first things first, as I always do, you know what I do. We go through the typical check, and I'll inform you on how everything's working on the scooter, you know, as of today. You know, just the basic, you know, bells and whistles. So, brakes, still working great since the day I first got them. The squeeze pressure, the amount of pressure when you push down, you know, on the brakes, they still squeeze really hard. I haven't done one rebleed on this scooter at all. I've never rebled this scooter. Okay, it's been good since I first bought it. It still has the same strong clamping power. I'm pretty sure at some point I'm gonna have to rebleed it, but I've never had to rebleed. Still stops really strong. The motors are still spinning freely. There's been no, you know how some motors will, you know, get stuck and they don't spin freely anymore, like they, you know, because of, you know, after a long period of time, you need to change them because they won't spin freely. Motors are still spinning freely, nice and great. Everything's good. All of the lights are still working. Okay, I'm talking about my LED lights, you know, for the arms, you know, as you see the arms down there, for the stem, for the switch box, for the display. All of them are working. And I still haven't fixed my left side, which if you guys watch my videos, you know I pulled the wire by mistake, pulled it out, and that left side light doesn't work, but it's entirely my fault. Be very careful if you're going to do your own maintenance and taking this off, because if you pull too hard, you'll pull out the wire that's connected to it. It's a simple fix. It's just a negative and positive wire that you would need to reattach back to it, but it looks like it needs some glue and all that shit. So I just haven't, you know, been up to fixing it at all. But yeah, it's a very easy fix. What else? The switch box with the horn, turn signals, hazard lights, everything, the turn signals, everything on the switch box is working just like the day I bought it. Eco mode, everything is functional. Everything inside the throttle, all of the commands, the buttons, the mode button still works, doesn't get stuck. The power button still works. The gear button to switch between gear, to switch between gear 1, 2, and 3, and to flip through all the mode settings and making your own personal P settings and all that still works perfectly fine. The suspension is really a no-brainer on here. It's just cartridges with 4 individual rubber pieces in that you bounce on. Can't really see how that can fail. I probably will change them next year. I'll wait 2 years to change them. They do recommend you change your stem, I think, after 2 years or maybe a year and a half or something. I will change my stem eventually, but it's still going strong. You know, everything's good. So, but yeah, the suspension is just a cartridge with 4 rubber pieces on it where you can choose between how soft or how hard you want them. Nothing is feeling bad on that. Like I said, it's a cartridge with something. I don't see how that can fail, honestly. I would take off the arms and just check the metal that, you know, the arms are sitting on, make sure they're not chipped or make sure everything's good. And you're pretty much good to go. They'll probably last you forever. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it on everything on the basic side. Oh, charge ports. Both charge ports still work perfectly fine. No issues at all. The horn still works, no problem, just as loud as it was when I first got it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the overview from all the basic stuff on there. Still going strong. All right, so what I want to get into next is a interesting story I got for you guys that happened to me on this scooter. So now, as we all know, these are electric scooters, right? And it's probably not a good idea to ride these in the rain. That's the reason why I do not ride this scooter in the rain, okay? Even though supposedly it has a good waterproofing mechanism on it for where the controller is housed, and also in the motors, okay? You can see some videos on that. They say this should be really good for, you know, not letting water get inside, but I choose not to ride my electric scooter in the rain. A little other story I had with my T113, my Chinese scooter. I think I had got caught out in the rain, or I rode out in the rain in it, and you know, the scooter had cut off, and I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? And then I turned it back on, and it was just acting weird, and I was like, fuck, dude, I shouldn't be doing that shit. But there's some people who ride their scooters in the rain, but a lot of them aren't really waterproofed that well. And even if they are waterproofed, I don't know, it's just probably maybe not a good idea. But anyway, this is what happened to me. So got up one day, I looked at the weather, and it was like, oh, it says it was gonna rain, right? But it wasn't till later on in the evening. So I was like, okay, whatever. I did my deliveries earlier in the day. And then after I finished my deliveries, I went to my main job. And then it said it was going to start raining like at around 1 a.m. or something like that. And, you know, I get out real late, like at 11 or something. So I was like, okay, I should have time to get home. Fast forward to 11 p.m., right? It comes to 11 p.m., right? I'm like, okay, I look at the sky. It's really dark, so you can't really see the clouds, or whatever. And I'm like, I think I should be good. I'm not going to call an Uber. I'm not going to leave it here. I'm gonna just get back. I got time, right? So then I get out. I start riding. I get up the block just a little bit of ways, maybe about like 10 blocks or something. And then it just starts fucking pouring rain. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm so paranoid because I don't want to screw this scooter up. Because as you guys know, my Dualtron Storm Limited is at Mini Motors USA until they can give me a new controller. And then I'm just going to wait for them to put the motors on. So this is the only scooter I got. So I'm like, oh, fuck, man. And it's pouring rain, and I am just soaked. So I was out there, I was like, fuck, there's no point of return. It's like 11. I may not be able to get a wave, which is a form of Uber that picks you up in a van so that you can have room to put the Dualtron in. But at those times, it's kind of hard to find one. So I don't want to be sitting out there in the rain, you know, waiting for something to connect. You can't find one. I was like, fuck, dude. I'm just going to have to gun that shit all the way home and just hope it doesn't cut off. So I was fucking peeling it, man. And the pouring rain, too. Remember, the rain is slippery crazy, dude. I had my gear and my armor on, too, so I was ready. But I was driving carefully, like no sharp turns or anything like that. But I was gunning, trying to get home. And then I was like, please don't cut off. Please don't fuck up. Please don't fuck up, dude, right? So then a significant amount of the way it was raining significantly, but then it had stopped a little bit shortly before I got home. But that doesn't mean I didn't get a whole excessive amount of rain doused on me in the scooter. So I eventually got there, right? And guess what? The scooter was still going strong. I was like, oh my God, Dualtron Storm, I am so damn proud of you, man. You are amazing, dude. It didn't fuck up. I checked all the spots where water would be, like where the controller is and all that. There was no water. It looks like there was no water leakage in there because inside here, let me show you here. This thing right here, supposedly, I think I've seen it on some other things. Like, it has a big rubber casing inside here that kind of like, bloop, like goes in to prevent water leakage. So no water had gotten inside here. And then also here, no water got in here. In the underside, you see what I mean? This case, like, it's just completely blocked. Even when the water comes off, it just drips off, like, through there. No water got in there. And the motors, they did not even get, you know, wet at all. As I told you, see, my motors still spin freely. Really nice, no stuck after a year. But yeah, the motors, they had no water inside. And also, the way that the Storm is made, guys, like, this is why this scooter is so cool. You know, this is just all battery. And then if water didn't really get inside here, but if it did, it would be very minimal. Because see, look, when you lift this up, all the wires are encased. You see those two screws right there? All the wires are encased in there. And then you just got this. So that's probably why this scooter is so good with water, okay? And yeah, guys, I was just really, really happy about that. And yeah, so that's my little story. So I wouldn't recommend riding your Dualtron Storm in the rain, but if you happen to get caught in it, as I did, I wish I had a video or GoPro of it to show you. You know, I like to show you examples, but I don't have one. I can't afford one of those right now, but eventually I'll get one. But yeah, I'm just here to tell you that the Dualtron Storm survived. It is a champ. And a lot of that has to do what I'm telling you guys, like all the shit talking about the limited and all that. There's other good reasons, dude. There's minimal wires, all the wire. You guys got to understand, dude, the less wires, the less problems, you know, the less anything getting snagged or shorted and maintenance. Dude, we got to do our own maintenance on this shit. It's not cute, dude. It's not fun, dude. So speed isn't everything. So anyway, yeah. That's pretty much it, guys, with that issue, with that little story. All right, so one of the next things I want to talk about is one of the issues on the scooter, one of the annoying things about this fucking scooter. And, you know, you guys know I'm going to keep it real, man. I'm going to tell you the bad and the good. I'm not going to say everything good. You know, I'm not paid. You know, this is just, I'm just a real dude. You know, no flat, no cool intros or nothing yet. I still don't got cool intros or anything or effects and all that. Eventually, I plan on doing that. But if I don't have that, that means that goes to show you that I'm just straight up real, dude. So let's get into one of the more annoying fucking parts of the scooter. Now, everybody knows that this scooter always gets this fucking nasty, annoying ass creaking noise, okay? Now, let's get up here. There are probably 3 potential places where this creak could be, okay? But the main place, I'm gonna show you where the main fucking place is, and I found out, okay? So, you got this area right here, okay? This could be a potential area that can make noise, okay? But this is a little easy to deal with because all you do is screw this off, pull it out, maybe put some grease on it, put some oil or whatever, lubricant or whatever, which, you know, I'll get to how that works. And then it'll work, you know, for a little bit or whatever. I might never make any noise at all again, but this is one potential spot, okay? Another spot is, I'm going to see if I can find the dude there's a guy who discovered this. There's another potential spot I think that he showed, you know, that can make noise is under here, okay? So when you're doing the rocking motion from this, there's a lot of potential areas and even up here that can make noise. So, God, I'm gonna try to find that dude. But there was a dude who made a video where he was kind of clever. This is his idea, okay? I don't take credit for people's shit. I don't do that. He took a piece of a tube, like an inner tube. He cut the pieces of the inner tube, and you see where these 2 bolts are, where it holds this down? When you lift this up, you take this whole thing off, right? And then there's like a little sitting area under here, okay? What he did was he put some rubber like on the inside piece. Let's see if I can show you. Sitting on there, and then screwed it on top of that, okay? And when he opened it, you could see the scratches on there from the rocking movement of how this was moving and making, and that was making a noise for him. I don't think I had that issue, but I'm just saying that's a potential area that can make noise, okay? So I'm gonna try to find this video. So he opened it up, took off the cover, just kind of like stuck some rubber there, maybe taped it or made it stick somewhere, and then it took the noise away, okay? Another potential noise area is right here where the clamp is. But because I'm using a custom clamp, as you guys know, I don't use the standard. You guys know, you guys who watch my video, you know what's up with this. And the Dualtron Russia clamp and whatnot. If you put a little bit of lube on it, or grease, or whatever you want, there tends to not be any noise from here because these are so tight and everything is held so well, you know. See, you can see I got lube on it under there too, but there's really no noise really coming from here. It's really not the issue for the most of the time. Now let me tell you where the fucking issue from the noise is coming mostly from. This fucking area right here. This area here is the fucking pain in the ass noise area, okay? So now what I did was, the first time I took this off, right, I unscrewed it and I took it out, pulled the whole stem out, you know, I sprayed it down with some WD-40 lithium grease, lithium, you know, oil or whatever, lubricant, and put it in there, and it was good for a while, okay? Then after that, after like, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks or maybe 3 weeks or something, the noise came back. And I was like, oh my God, maybe that wasn't strong enough, okay? So what I did was I got some more heavy duty WD-40, not WD-40, well, made by WD-40, but it was grease though. It was like this blue grease, and it's supposed to be extreme and heavy duty or whatever. And I had just put that in about 2 weeks ago, or 2-3 weeks ago. And then the creaking came back, but it wasn't really a strong creaking, okay? It's kind of like, but I hate it. Like, even the slightest bit of it, I hate the fucking noise. It's just annoying. Like, it's like this little, you know? But for me, it's a little different because I do use my electric braking, and I'm on level 3. And the electric braking is very fucking strong. So when you engage it along with the actual brakes, with the brake pads, it moves up a lot more, you know, it goes, and then naturally when it does that, it makes that little sound. Not as aggressive that I put the grease in, but it's still noticeably there, and it's just very irritating. Okay, now, when I took it out, okay, and I examined it, all right, there are like aluminum shavings, like there's shavings of the aluminum from the back and forth movement. Like when you touch the bottom of it, when you take it off, you'll have like the little shavings on your hand, because as it's moving, it's actually fucking like, you know, shaving the inside of the thing, like, because it's scraping back and forth. This is a major design flaw that they need to fix on Dualtrons, because it's very annoying. They should make some like this that has like rubber housing inside, and then when you put it in, the rubber won't allow it to creak anymore. And then they'll have like rubber cartridges or something that you could just put in, and then it could fit securely in. That shit will have no more fucking creaking at all. It'll be good. But I'm just telling you guys the issue. You know, I've been writing this for a year, so I'm gonna let you guys know what you're getting yourself into. Okay, so be prepared for this shit to creak if you ride it every day or you ride it often like I do. It's just bound to happen. So I put the grease in. It kind of toned it down, but it is there slightly, guys. All right, let me think about what else we could talk about. Move on to the next subject. Okay, so now I want to talk about the tires, guys. So as you guys remember, I put the 140/30/R 6.5 tires on here, which these tires are extremely wide. Okay, especially for a Dualtron, they were actually, you know, advertised a lot to be put on the weped SS, which is an amazing scooter. But I wanted it because of the width, because Dualtrons have really stupid, skinny, lanky ass tires with all this like amazing power. When you take off on super thin ass tires with a lot of power, it's not very comfortable. Okay, and that's why sometimes you lose traction when you take off. I don't know if you guys notice how your front tire will go to the side because it's a dual motor, dude. Like if you're using all that power, you know, you're gonna take off like hella quick and it's gonna like skid and turn. The wider your tires are, the more you're gonna be planted down to the ground, okay, which is very important and keeping you sturdy and straight. It helps with wobble, it helps with channeling the power, grabbing the power of the scooter. I'm pretty sure thinner tires will maybe excel you faster or, you know, get you a little bit more speed, but to me, it's been the same experience. Sometimes I've gotten even faster. My personal experience with these, and let me tell you, the comfortability, how comfortable it is fucking amazing. Okay, so much so that, you know, Kizzy saw my video of me talking about this and installed this, and he decided to buy them and install them on the split rim video I told you guys to go check out. So if you don't believe me, go and ask him. He tried them and he's like, dude, this is fucking amazing. I was like, I told you, dude. So that's why I came up with this idea, and I decided to do this because, you know, the tires are too thin. Let's take a look at it. Let's see here. I hope everybody does this because you really need to. I mean, just look at the width, guys. On a Dualtron, this is unheard of. And look at the wear, and we'll get to why the wear is not so bad, because I'll tell you how this is not, you know, worn out quickly. I'll tell you what I've done to stop that. But yeah, as you can see, it's great. It's great, man. And it has held up very nice. There hasn't been any issues, no tire, you know, issues exploding or anything. Nothing has happened. I've been riding them. It's been totally fine. Aside for having to file down the brakes, as I told you, because if you don't file it down, it will bump up against this because it's such a tight squeeze. But once you file down this, like the other side of this for this brake pad, just file it down with like a sander or something. Get a mechanical sander and just, you know, file it down, and it'll spin freely. As you can see, my motors are still very good. Yeah, so I would highly recommend these tires, man. These tires are amazing, and you know, that's why I had to do it, man. I had to come up with a solution to get some sort of wide tires, because the skinny tires were just ridiculous. Okay, now I want to talk about something kind of like a mini story too. I'll put a little storyline on it too. Okay, so I want to talk about something that has to do with these tires. Okay, I want to inform you guys on something important. If you guys have been having this issue and you couldn't figure it out, I've been having this issue and I didn't know what was going on. Okay, so as you guys know, if you've seen like my other videos, like I don't know which one it is. For those of you who've seen my videos on my Dualtron Storm Limited, you remember when I was telling you that I was riding my scooter and then I believe that I had got a flat on the RSC tires, and I didn't see how that was fucking possible, because these tires, like, you can't really get I don't see how you can get a flat unless if you get a really big, huge fucking nail stuck inside of it or something to tear it. I don't see how air can leak on these tires. Inside, it's like this stuff, man. It's really like this very smushy stuff, dude. Like, look at this stuff. Like, I don't see how air can possibly get through it. You'd really have to tear like some kind of a huge hole in it in order for it to, you know what I mean, be fucked up. But look, I smash your finger in it and it just goes back into place. It's just a whole bunch of goop inside. And yeah, but look at it, man. It's just, and like you can't even tear it. Like, see how it's like flat? Try to like tear a hole in it or something. It just goes, it just stays into its neutral position, and it just goes right back. Look at my finger, it goes all the way in, and this stuff is like really fucking smushy and thick. So feeling this material, I can't see how any air can get through this, you know. If only these were some really good quality PMT tires. I wish the PMT tires would put this stuff in the tire. Oh, I'd be so happy. Or I could figure out how the hell they're getting this shit in there. Okay, you put this in a PMT, oh man, that'll be the best. But yeah, just a quick look at these. This is what they look like inside. So yeah, just so you guys know, there's the substance inside. Yeah, works well. Alright, so as you can see, that's the inside of the RSC tires. I hope I'm saying it right. It's either RCS or RSC. Let's just go with RSC, okay? The tires that come, the newly revamped tires that come from the Dualtron factory or whatever. I'm sure it's Chinese, but whatever. The main point is it has that substance inside to prevent flat tires, which looks like it works very well. I haven't had an issue with it. Now, here's the thing. As I just showed you guys the inside of that, dude, that material, if you don't get like nothing super duper huge or like that tears it, there's no way air is leaking from that. Now, to get back to what I was saying earlier, how I told you I had my RSC tires, and if you guys watched the old video, I had to keep filling up the tire like every day or every other day. It would just keep leaking air, leaking air, leaking air. And then I look and I check for holes, and there's no noticeable holes anywhere. There's nothing. I mean, stuff that didn't really even penetrate the tire. It was like sitting on it, but it didn't penetrate. And even if it did, with the substance would handle that no problem. What is the air going to go around, all the way around the wheel and come out the side? No. Unless if you punctured from the absolute side, you know, where there's no substance. But, you know, nothing was there. So I was like, okay, what the fuck is going on? So after a bunch of times of, you know, this happening on multiple wheels, it happened on these tires, which I'm going to show you. I found out that what the issue was. And let me get the RSC tire for you. All right, guys, so here's my RSC tire, okay? The newer version that comes here. It's filled up, it's taken off. I had them on for this very reason that was happening, how it kept losing air, and I was losing air on that. You know, I figured if I put these on, I had to take those off because, you know, I kept, you know, losing air, flat tire or whatever. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I had these on, but when I discovered the issue, I put those back on because I don't want to ride on nothing but those ever again. Like, the only reason why I had these on is because, you know, I do my deliveries and I can't afford to get a flat tire on that. Then I got to come change. I'm missing out on money and I need to make money. So anyway, the point is I discovered what was leaking air. And I don't know if this was happening to you guys. And let me show you what the issue is. The issue is right here. These stem valves are apparently, you know, not that great. And as you can see, they really do move around. So, and I guess if you put a lot of pressure on them, I think over time, you know, they'll wear or whatever. Even though I've never had this issue, but I do deliveries and I stand in the back a lot. So, yeah, this is what was causing the air leakage. And the way that I found out is that when I had the scooter and I kept getting it and kept getting the, you know, air leakage, I was like, okay, let me spray it down with soap and water and I'm going to find out where this hole is coming from. So I kept focusing on the wheel itself when I was spraying it down. Like I was spraying all the wheel down and I was seeing no bubbles. And then because I put a shitload of soap and water, everything got covered. And then it got hit on this side. And then I saw all the bubbles coming straight out of the valve. I saw just mountains and mountains of bubbles coming out. And I'm like, oh my God, this whole time it's been the valves that's been leaking air, right? So I came up, I researched and found out what I could do. And I found a solution so far. Now, my solution has been working so far. I hope it stays like that. I don't know if it will, but I'll let you know. But I've been riding for about 2 weeks with it, and it has worked. And I'm going to show you guys that so that this, doesn't happen to you if you want to do it. I mean, it's up to you. I'm just giving you the info. So let me show you the solution I did to fix this air leakage from this. Okay, guys, so here is me recording my back tire that has my PMTs, my really nice PMTs on it. And look at the difference. There is a new hub on there. This is like a hub that I bought. I was like, okay, let me find a good, high quality, better, stem valve, stem plug, because so it can hold the air, something that's strong enough that it won't, come out when I step on it or start leaking air or start tearing the rubber on the sides, something that can apply pressure. And so far, it's been working okay, as you can see. See, the air pressure is very hard. Nothing has ever came out. It's been holding just fine. I would, you don't have to, but I would say really consider doing this. Putting another valve in. As you can see, this doesn't move at all. Like, remember how I showed you on the RC tires, when you go like this, it moves. This doesn't move at all. Like, it's really tight. Now, let me show you how I installed it, because it's gonna be hard to find things that are specially made for Dualtrons. I think this is actually made for like a motorcycle or a car or something like that, but I had to improvise. I had to do what I could, to make it work. So this is how it comes, okay? As you can see, all the layers right here, okay? So you're gonna have all these layers, but the thing is, you're not gonna be able to fit this whole entire thing on a tiny ass Dualtron rim. You only have so much space inside, okay? So what I did was, I took this contraption apart and I used everything except for the last bolt, okay? Because there was no room to put, these are screws. So first of all, instead of it just being plugged, these are held in by a screw. So you could tighten this really tight. And I didn't put any Loctite on it, so I'm hoping that it holds. That's what I'm kind of worried about. If it doesn't hold, I'll go back in and I'll put some Loctite on it and I'll screw it on really tight, and that should hold it no problem. But so far it hasn't came off, and I tightened it really tight. So this is what I did. Let me take it apart and I'll show you exactly, what I put on, how it was on, so that you could know how to do it when you get it. So yeah, give me a second. Okay, guys. So this is what it looks like when I've taken it apart. Okay. So as you can see, this is what it's gonna look like. Okay. So this little, God, sorry about the focus. This part right here is made on. You can't take this off. See this little finger where my finger's pointing? That's like a hard piece of metal or aluminum that's just on there. Okay. These are two rubber plugs. Okay. So what I did was, okay, you're gonna take this back one off here. Okay. And then you're going to squeeze. This goes up though. You see this? I pulled it down so you can see. You can pull this back up. So then you're going to put it in. This rubber stopper is going to be on the top, and then this one's going to be on the inside, okay? So you're going to squeeze this in between the rim. This is what's in between the rim. Squeeze it really tight, okay? Now, this is chronological order of how I took everything off, okay? So you got this plug. You're going to take this one off. You're going to put it in the rim, okay? Then you're going to put this back on. That's going to be your sealer, okay? And then take this one. This is what I did. I did put this one. This is kind of like, this is like a sealer or whatever. You see what I'm saying? And put it with the outer side, the open side. Obviously, you want to put it that way. Put it on like that. So take it off. I'll put a link to this item. God damn it. Stay there. Put it on like that. God damn it. You know what I mean. Put it on like that. As you can see, tighten it up. And then put one of these screws. This is what I did, because there's no room, okay? So I just put one of these screws on it, and then I tightened it up really tight, okay? And that was it. That's how I got it on there. So now, the way that I tightened it, okay, was a little tricky, because it's kind of hard to grip it, okay? So as you guys know, there will be a bolt right here. So kind of get like some pliers or something to hold the bolt on the back, and then get some pliers to grip the whole pole right here, okay? So grip the pole, kind of hold that, and then tighten it like that. Put the pliers on the pole and then just keep turning and turning and turning and turning and turning and turning until it's really tight, until that's really tight. Don't over tighten it. I think it's the first time I did it, I did something where I tightened so much and it pushed the valve all the way out. So take the cap off and just check it. Make sure you don't push too much or something. I don't know how, but I pushed the whole thing up and no air could get in it at all. But I'll leave a link in the description. You get like, I don't know, maybe 4 in a pack or something like that. But man, is this going to really help if this holds up? It should hold up. Much better solution than the standard tire plugs. So yes, that is one thing that is very important that I want to share with you guys that I don't see anybody talking about. You guys know how I do my videos. Most of the time I find stuff that people are not talking about or figure things out, you know, new ideas or whatever. So, you know, you heard that shit from me first. But this I recommend if you want to do it. Then again, I only wrote it in for 2 weeks. I need to write a little bit more and see how it is. But those standard plugs, you know, in the long run, you know, I think they'll just go out, you know. So give you another view of it there. Can you get some light? Yeah, so you can see it. See how it's in there? It clears the motor just fine. And look, no movement. Doesn't move at all. You know, sturdy ass aluminum with a screw. So yeah, guys, so that does it for that on the tires. Info on the tires. Okay, guys, so another thing I want to talk about that I don't see anyone talking about, kind of like an issue on this scooter, maybe like a design flaw, is the way that the back tire is made and the clearance, okay? Now, over time, I've just noticed things, you know, I really pay attention to things, and okay, so we all know, now this is kind of theoretical, but at the same time, I think it's fact. I think it is causing some sort of an issue, okay, that I just noticed, okay? Now, remember how the Dualtron Storm Limited came out, right? And people were complaining about vibrating motors, okay? Like the motors are vibrating and all that kind of shit, right? Honestly, I'm thinking the vibration is not really from those motors, okay? It could be, but I think there's another contributing factor that's causing that vibration, and I know now because I've experienced it. And it could have something to do with the RSC tires or just any kind of skinny, thin, you know, really high ovaled tire for a Dualtron in general that could be limiting your speed and that could be causing, like, you know, various issues I've just been exploring. So what I'm talking about here is the back wheel. Now, when you have the standard tires, the standard street tires, and the RSC tires, and you put them on the Storm. Now, I put the RSC tires on the Storm because it's pretty much the same size as the Limited. They even advertise that you can use it on this scooter as well, so it should matter. But what I've noticed is that in the back tire, the back wheel is scraping up against. It's scraping up against the controller. Okay, now guys, I ride my, I don't know about all these other motherfuckers, but I ride my shit every day. So you're getting real world longevity info here. I ride my shit every day, dude. So this is how I noticed it. Now, the back wheel with the street tires on, RSC or the originals, are scraping up against the controller. Okay, now I don't know how much it is. It could just be flinging dirt up on it. But honestly, I wish I would have took a video on it before I put my PMTs back on. But you know what I did? I accelerated on it, right? it was on a crate that could be contributing to it or whatever. I don't know. But I accelerated on it, and the RSC tire was scraping up against the bottom portion of, you know, where the cartridge holder is on the back. When you accelerate really hard, you know, it scrapes on it. Like it goes, and I'm like, you know. And then if you look at the controller, there's like an imprint of a wheel on there. So I was like, okay, it could be flinging dirt, but it also could be scraping on it. That's a huge design flaw for this scooter, okay? Because it should be nowhere near that, okay? And I took it to the extreme, and I don't recommend anyone doing this. I mean, it's just up to you. I don't plan on selling this scooter. I really don't. But I was just, you know, I'm always trying to be innovative. I'm always trying to do new shit. And I'm always trying to see what would happen. So what I did was I actually took the back of my scooter and I filed down the back part of the cartridge, dude. I literally filed it down with a sander. And I made like a big oval-shaped gap. I actually went a little bit more. This one doesn't do much justice. I just took one quick little video. But I actually filed down even more than this so that when I accelerated on the PMT, not the PMT, the RSC tires, that it at the highest RPM, it wouldn't scrape up against it, okay? And I filed a lot down, and it still, you know, touched a little bit. So I was just like, you know what, screw that. Now, let me explain to you why those RSC tires are scraping up against that in the first place, or what's a huge contributor to that. Okay? Now, first of all, there's some tires that are hard and there's some tires that are soft, okay? Those RSC tires are extremely soft, okay? Yeah, they're cool. They got the substance inside and all that, but they're nylon tires and they're not really high quality PMT tires like these ones I have on here. These are made in Italy. These are the fucking top dogs. These are the real deal. These are hard tires. These are really good tires. They don't flat easily and all that bullshit, okay? And that's why they're so expensive, but they're very worth it. Now, the RSC tires are cheaper, you know, made quality. They're nylon and they're soft. So what happens when you accelerate at very high RPMs or really fast acceleration and you start picking up speed? The tire expands. It goes like this. It may be like this. It's just an example. Let's say the tire is like this, but then when you expand, this is the top area, it goes like this. The top will expand. And when it expands, what's going to happen? It's going to rub up against, if anything, that's close to it, okay? Now, I wish I would have took a picture of it, but when you put the RSC tires on, it's really close to the fucking cartridge. So I'm like, damn, you know, maybe that's what's causing it. So now let's go back to what I was talking about earlier, my theory about the vibration, okay? I believe that vibration, a huge contributor to that vibration could be coming from the back wheel bumping or hitting the contraption here, and that makes it go like this, because if it's gonna hit that, it's gonna, you know, vibrate and shit. You know what I'm saying? So actually, let me see if I could take this off. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm gonna show you. Hold on, let me take it off. All right, guys, so I have just flipped back the controller. I'm not gonna take all this shit off, no way, because it's annoying getting it back on. After all the tire changing, I'm fucking good for a while. But this is going to be a clear example of what I'm telling you guys so you can really understand. Okay, so let me get some light in there. Okay, so look. You see the clearance? This is the cartridge, okay? As you see under there, that's the cartridge. That's where everything's being held, all right? Now, this is what I was talking about. And I showed you the video how I shaved this out when I had the RSC tires on so it wouldn't hit. And as you could see with these PMTs, there's like way more clearance. With the fucking RSCs, the tire is like literally like right here. It's like right on its ass. Like if you go fast and expand, it's gonna hit this, dude. So, you know, I had to get this out here, you know, especially for the 1 year, man. This is gonna be a special one, man, because I'm gonna get you guys some good info out there too as well. So also look at this, guys. Oh, and look at this. You see this? It's kind of gone, but this is from the RSC tire. It used to be like a perfect circle, you can still kind of see the dirt. You see how it's like that? It used to be like this because the tire is probably like hitting that, dude. So I wanted to get this out there for people so you guys could be aware of this. If you're a Dualtron Storm owner, or I don't think the Ultra 2. The Ultra 2 is made similar, but I think it's made a little different than the Storm. I think this may be more of an issue on a Storm, but check your Ultra 2s as well. So yeah, this could be a contributing factor to speed or whatever. And also look at this. This is cracked. Look, guys, look. Look at this. This is because of the tire. Like I told you guys, the tire will expand. So the tire has been expanding and going like this. This is completely torn. Look, my finger goes through it, guys. So yeah, dude, I don't see nobody talking about this kind of shit, dude. Like, I give you the real info, bro. So be aware of this. Okay, be aware of this. But when you get these on here, like I said, these are good, high quality PMT tires that are made in Italy. These will not expand. These will not. They're gonna stay stationary, and it makes this scooter ride very, very well, guys. So had to get that out there to you guys. Very, very useful info for you guys. So you guys maybe can experiment. See if your speed gets better. You may need to change to some good PMTs because it's just not working. This helped a little bit, shaving it out. But some people, look at all the sanded scratches. Some people may not want to do that to their Dualtron. Even though this isn't, in my opinion, this isn't going to affect anything. Nobody really even sees that area. But if you don't have PMTs, this may be a solution for you. So, yeah. Just wanted to get that out there to you guys. Oh, and also another thing I want to mention about the tires, these PMT tires. Now, when it comes to hill climbing, it has made it so much better. Like, now, don't get me wrong. This is a very powerful scooter. It's gonna climb hills no problem, okay? It's just that some scooters will hill climb better than others, okay? Just the way they're made, you know, the power, the quality, whatever it is. Some will climb hills better, okay? My turbo wheel Phaeton, which is like, you know, old school now, but if you could find one, but it was an amazing scooter. My turbo wheel Phaeton climbed hills way better than this shit, okay? It just, I don't know how to explain it. It's not like it can't do it. It's just, it's a little bit more sluggish. This was more sluggish than my turbo wheel. My turbo wheel Phaeton would climb hills so smooth. Like, just, I don't have to, like, it doesn't feel sluggish. You know what I mean? This one climbs like a champ, climbs really good. It's just something about it. It's just not as, like, you know, efficient as, like, my turbo wheel was. That shit just butter. And I'm pretty sure a Wolf Warrior, just by looking at the Wolf Warrior, that's going to climb hills like a fucking champ. Weped SS, come on, dude. That, man, when I had the Weped SS, that does anything. That's going to climb any fucking thing. Okay, period. Like, no problem. So, but that's just one little flaw, little minor thing. Like, it's really not that serious. I'm just letting you know because from experience of riding, you know, different types of scooters, that, you know, some scooters will climb better. Hill climbing on this is, it's not really all that great, but it's good. It's still powerful. You just have to try it to see what I'm talking about. But my point is, these tires have made it better. Okay, these tires have made it a lot more better on hill climbing. Okay, so just wanted to mention that to you guys. Alrighty, guys. So now, what else can I talk about? Let's talk about the charging. Okay, so the charging on this is still, oh yeah. So as far as capacity, the battery still charges to its full capacity, which is 83 volts, even after a year. 83 volts, no problem. I have two different chargers that charge at different, at the full capacity, different rate of a full capacity. I'll show you my chargers, I guess, right now. They're right over there. But I bought another fast charger to charge even faster. I would just charge on one, but I do it when I need to come back to do more deliveries with my other battery, which I'll show you in a minute. I need to have this battery charged, really fast so that when I need to come home and change batteries, I'll have one full because I had double chargers. So, yeah, let's talk about the battery. So the battery still charges to full, no problem. No, it's still just as powerful as the day I bought it after a year. As you guys know, when talking about the batteries, you guys know I've been riding these for a long time. We could take it all the way back to my first dual motor scooter, which was the T113 from Alibaba. Oh man, that takes me back. I think this is like my first video, my first ever scooter video. It's crazy, dude. I bought this thing way back in the fucking day, like 3 years ago, man. So crazy how time has flied. And I mean, this scooter was just, it was a learning experience, okay? I will never buy another Alibaba scooter again because I've learned from that. You need to get quality scooters. Okay, now, if you want to get a scooter from Alibaba and you don't want to pay $4,000, $6,000 for a Dualtron, I totally understand. I'm not knocking you. That's the first thing I did, guys. You see how I just showed my T113? That thing was like $1,300. Okay, that's way less than $4,000 for a Dualtron, but as I say, you pay for what you get for. Maybe you guys may have different luck when you buy yours from Alibaba and it won't have all those problems. But for me, nothing but problems. I also made a video on that. If you guys want to check my old video about how the Alibaba scooter was, check it out. And to me, honestly, all those scooters are similar. The ones that come from China. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, and the Dualtron, here's the thing. The Dualtron is outsourced to China now, too. You do know that China makes Dualtron scooters now. Before they were making them in-house. But the difference is that all of their parts and all of their design and all of everything that they do, the Chinese are making it, but the quality of it is still there because of how it's built. You see what I'm saying? They're just putting it together for cheaper labor. You know what I'm saying? But it's still all the good, quality stuff. Everybody just eventually outsources to China because they can get it done for cheap. That's how business works. But anyway, my main point is that when I got my Alibaba scooter, because I didn't want to spend the money on a Dualtron, it just gave me nothing but problems. Everything was breaking, the shocks broke, a lot of dangerous things. This is why I would recommend saving money and getting a Dualtron or a weped. Honestly, wepeds are like probably the only scooters, wepeds and Ryons. If you want a real good quality built scooter, either a weped or a Ryon. The wepeds have the Dark Knights now. I'm not really a fan of the Dark Knight, honestly. The last version that they made is the weped FS. That's the only one I would consider getting. When you get to a Dark Knight, the wheels start getting too big, the scooter starts getting too big. Then that takes away from the compact look. That takes away from the originality of riding something super powerful, yet very compact. I don't want to ride a big, huge-ass motorcycle. I mean, the seat and everything, it looks like a damn motorcycle. Like, I don't want to ride something that is going to catch a lot of attention by the cops and by people. Oh, are you riding on a sidewalk? Oh, that's a motorcycle. Then you can't really have fun with it. You can't go into stores and all that. It just gets out of control, So I would stick with the weped FS if I ever got a weped again, or a Ryon. So like I was saying, if you want a quality built scooter from the ground up in-house, your options are Ryon and your options are wepeds. That's pretty much it to my knowledge. Most people are outsourced to China. I hope Ryon doesn't do that. And I really hope weped doesn't do that because it's nice to have something that's fully built. That's why Ryons take so long. That's my only gripe with Ryons and why I never got one, because it would just take too long. And I can't do deliveries on a Ryon. I had to get Dualtrons. After I weighed everything down, the Dualtron for me personally was a good choice. It wasn't just about speed. It wasn't just about looks. It was about everything that pertained to me that was good for me. So anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. So the problems that I had with my T113 was a lot. But one in particular was the battery, dude. I bought 2 fucking batteries, man. The first one went out on me after 5 months, right? Then they didn't want to give me another one. They don't have to hold up to their word. They're in China. I get it, whatever. So I bought another one. And then that one gave out in like 4 or 5 months. So I was like, fuck this shit, dude. I got to get a quality scooter. And which brings me back to why this day is so special. This is the 1 year, anniversary of the Dualtron, and the battery's still going strong, still charges to full capacity. Everything is still riding buttery smooth. Okay? So, now let's get on to one thing that I've done that nobody does. As I said, I don't like to be like everybody else, and I'm always doing different shit, okay? Let me tell you about my battery experience on this in particular. Something that I do that nobody else has done, or nobody does consistently. Maybe they did a review on it or whatever. I have 2 batteries, guys. I have 2 Storm batteries, okay? When it comes to range anxiety, that doesn't exist for me. Like, never. Like, I've never had any range anxiety. I will take 2 batteries out with me if I need to go long distances. Sometimes the first battery won't even get depleted, and then I could start riding back on that battery, and then it'll deplete, and then I'll have a full 31Ah battery. Just take it out of my backpack, put it right in. I'm ready and good to go. Never have any range anxiety. That is one of the big reasons why this scooter shines so much. Okay? I mean, let me tell you, I've ridden so far just to check it out. Like, cities way beyond where I live. And I've depleted like a whole battery. And then I'd fucking put the other one in, and like I was going to a friend's house or something. And then I'd use half of that battery and I'd be there, right? So then I bring like my chargers, I charge up at his house, and then I can get back home with my 2 batteries. It's very convenient. Now, the price for it may be pricey for most people, or, it was even pricier for me, but I live off my scooter, so I had to do it. It was $1,500 for another battery. But as you can see, this one here, actually, this is my original battery. As you can see how beat up it is. This one is still going after a year, and I believe I could probably get another year out of it. So, hey, that's worth it. Think about this, guys. Consider you pay $1,500 for one battery, right? How much do you spend on gas in a year? Okay? I'm pretty sure you'd spend more, especially with the gas prices are right now. You'd spend more than $1,500 on a battery as opposed to gas. And the battery is still going. Come on, man. Some of these people gotta wake up, dude. Gas is a waste of money. Gas is killing your fucking wallet. It's killing your profits when you do deliveries. Get on a scooter. You don't have to be Speed Racer. You don't have to put it on the highest settings. There's so many cool settings where you can go 30 miles an hour. And you'd even save more battery than me. And it's fun. Just be safe and be careful. But I understand. You could get hit. They are pretty dangerous. It has its drawbacks. But I'll tell you one thing. It has its fucking benefits. When it comes to money, when I do my deliveries, I keep all my profits. And I get the Prop 22 money. Yeah. And none of that shit goes to gas. Dude, we're spending like $70 a week on gas. Come on, bro. As opposed to $1,500. Let's say even if you had to buy a new battery every year, that's still less. And it's still going. So, yeah, guys. Let me tell you, man. One of the most enjoyable, and this is all opinionated, okay? This is opinionated, it's my opinion, I get it. One of the most enjoyable experiences of having a Dualtron Storm is having a double battery, okay? Any group ride or whatever, if you go out on a group ride with a Storm, you could use your battery, and then usually we have like little rest stops where people will stop and everybody has to charge. I don't have to do that. Okay, or if we had to keep going farther or whatever, oh, okay, let me just pull out my other battery. Damn, dude, what the fuck? We got to charge. Like, not me, bro. I got, I got my other battery. I can just pull it in and stomp and replace it too. And let me tell you too. In case if you're planning to do this, the port that's inside that you pull the battery out and put it back in, it's so solid, dude. And let me tell you, I do this all the time. And none of the pins are bent. None of it. It still goes in nice and smooth. It comes out nice. It locks in very tight. It just never messed up. Honestly, I could pull it in, pull it out, pull it in, pull it out. I've pulled it thousands of times. And it seems like it just gets stronger. It seems like it gets better the longer it goes. Like, it's crazy. The port to connect the battery is very, very, very high quality. It's very high quality. It's made to a point that when you push it in, it can't move side to side, so it can't bend or anything. So, dude, the Dualtron Storm shines in its own way. It's not going to be as fast as any of the other scooters, okay? It'll get you a good, for me, maybe 50, maybe 48 or something like that. Maybe if you're lighter, maybe if you're like RK9 Rides or whatever. I don't know if I said his name right, but he got like 60 if you're lighter. I don't know. But 50 is more than enough. And the other benefits for this scooter makes it worth buying. Not everybody wants to go fucking 60 or 50 miles. Nobody wants to be speed racer. Some people just like cool with 40 just to get around, you know? And 50 is plenty damn fast, dude. That's fast on a fucking scooter, guys. Like, you want to die, bro? Like, relax. So, anyway, yeah. In my humble opinion, I would recommend it. Now, another drawback that I know most people would not like about having a double battery and carrying it with them is because it'd be heavy and you'd have to carry it with you. Well, me, I soldier it out. It's not a problem with me. The battery is 27 pounds. I'm used to carrying a backpack on me with a lot of shit, so it doesn't really bother me. Plus, soldiers, they got to carry backpacks with way more shit. Plus, they got to carry heavy-ass guns and ammo, and that's like way worse than, you know, a little 27-pound battery. You know, plus you could probably find a way to carry it, to suspend it, which I didn't really care because it doesn't bother me. But anyway, in closing for the battery, still going strong. No cutouts, no shorts or nothing. Oh, here's one thing I would recommend, okay? This is just my personal opinion about the battery. I would recommend never letting your battery cut off, okay? When you buy these, you'll get used to it. You'll know when the battery is about to die. You will know how far you need to go, where you can get. You just automatically learn. You learn how to measure voltage, and you learn how far you can go on a charge or wherever you're at. I would recommend getting where you need to go and turning it off and charging it. Do not let it cut off. Do not ride it until it cuts off. I think that really degrades the battery because when it cuts off, it gives like this. When scooters cut off, it gives like this really crazy jolt of electricity, like you feel it when you're on there. And honestly, I think that's fucked up some batteries and some other previous scooters I had by letting it do that. You know, I really wouldn't do that. You know, just like how they say they don't recommend charging your scooters all the way to full and whatnot and all that. But I charge mine to full. I don't care. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for the battery, guys. Highly recommend double batteries, in my personal opinion. All right, guys, so let's discuss the clamp, okay? That's the clamping mechanism over there. Let me tell you my experience. Let's get over there and take a look at it as we can. Let me tell you my experience on it, how it's been for me. Okay, so as you guys know, I also have the Dualtron Russia clamp, okay? Now, the Dualtron Russia clamp is amazing, okay? It clamps very well. You know, it holds down. You know, there's no play. There's no rocking. There's none of that, dude. The Dualtron Russia clamp is amazing. And at the time, this clamp that I have on right here was not available. The only thing you can get was the Dualtron Russia clamp. Now, obviously, you know, Ukraine is at war with Russia, so you know, we don't really fuck with Russia. I mean, there's people who do fuck with Russia, but I mean, as a whole, as a country, the standard, you know, we don't support Russia. So, you know, all of the shipments and everything has been blocked from Russia and all that. So you cannot get any products from Russia right now. So this is an alternative, and this is a Chinese product, and it's a good product. You know, just because it's Chinese doesn't mean it's bad. It's just some things, in my opinion, I believe, you can get from China and some things you can't. You know, it's my opinion. But this is great. Got this from AliExpress. Left it in the description on other videos. If I remember on this one, I'll leave it in here too. Oh, one thing to know about this though. If you do get it, so it has been told, is that if you have the red collar, apparently they won't fit on it as well or something like that. I'm not sure. I've heard that this particular version will not fit on here as snug. So if you have the original silver collar, I have a silver collar on this. I bought 2 of these, one for my Storm Limited when I get it back, and both of mine have the silver collar. Okay, if you have the red collar, this may not fit. If you do get it and you want to take the chance, please comment me and say, oh, it fits fine, that was some bullshit or whatever. Or tell me, confirm to me that it does not fit. And I'll gladly mention you and that, you know, that it doesn't fit in a video. I would really appreciate it because you help the scooter community as well. It's all about helping. It's not about being greedy. So, yeah, it's really good. Oh, another thing I want to mention about, it really holds very well, okay? Because let me tell you the difference between this and the Russia clamp. The difference is that this is actually held on the collar, okay? So they made a cutout for the collar. So this thing is all being held on the actual collar. The Russia clamp is only being held from this circumference right here, okay? Which is not too bad. But when it's being held on everything built here, as you can see, the collar is under there. You really can't see it because it's really like tightly wound around the whole thing. That's going to give you even more of a fucking nice little grip because it's holding the whole thing, okay? So if I had to choose, I'd probably say this one is better than the Russia clamp, but the Russia clamp is still amazing. Only because this clamps more, this holds more, so it reduces the rocking significantly. That's what I was gonna say. Another tip with this, when you screw these in, you see how I've gotten this pretty close to evenly on both sides. I guess most people may know about this, but some people may not. I didn't know at one point, but when you screw these in, make sure you screw them in evenly. Don't just screw in like this side and then screw this one in. Or don't screw this one in, this one in, this one in, to like tight, 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 tight. Do it like this. Screw, just feel it out. Screw this one in, screw this one in. When you feel a certain one, screw this one in, this one in, this one in. Just try to keep them parallel, okay? Try to get some parallelism there. Okay, this one, keep them like the same all the way until you get in. That's going to get you the best clamping force on here so that you won't feel any rocking or anything. It's going to make it the tightest because all the screws are screwed in evenly. Okay, so yeah, that's my take on the clamp. Very good. Recommend it. Okay, so now I want to get into another issue that no one really talks about, of course. I'm going to talk about it. Another issue on Dualtrons, particularly maybe the newer models like the Storm. There is an issue, and if I know a lot of people don't talk about this, there's only a few people or one person who's shown it and talked about it. There is an issue with the motors making a clicking noise. If you've experienced this, I'm gonna tell you what it is, okay? There is a clicking noise when you rotate after a while or riding it or randomly out of the blue. The motor will start to make like a clicking noise when you rotate it. Like it's very fucking annoying. Now, I made a video on this pertaining to this clicking noise that happened to me way back. I think it was on my first 3-month review. Right, just like that. When you rotate the motor, it makes that clicking noise, okay? Now, before you say it, it's not that anything's bumping up against it, nothing's hitting it, none of that's happening. You're not going to see this on mainstream. Now, there's one other dude who also had this same issue, okay? It wasn't an isolated issue with me. There was another dude that had this issue.
I'm worried about my Dualtron. Yeah. This backside right here, when I turn it, it makes that clunking sound. I don't know what the heck. See? That sound. So, please, I need help. This is like my third day with this guy. I need help. I'm gonna put some let's see, a little throttle and you'll hear it. Yeah, that one. Bang, 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 bang. I don't know where's that coming from.
Right. See, that guy had the same exact issue. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you what the issue is. Okay. The issue is the bearings. Okay. It's not the motor. It's not nothing's wrong with your motor or anything. It's the bearings that are inside. Now, what's going on is that these motors are kind of like maybe lower quality compared to the acceleration and the amount of speed that these new scooters can do. They need to revamp these motors and make, suitable bearings that can handle the speed of these Dualtrons, okay? Now, you can get replacement bearings from Mini Motors USA. Just call them. You don't have to worry about it. You can get them replaced. But I'm telling you, it is an annoying issue. Actually, it just happened to me yesterday when I was like, all right, well, it's been an ongoing thing. I'm going to tell you why. Listen to why this is so fucking tricky, how this thing works. For the past week, I've been hearing the clicking noise in my front motor, okay? I was just rolling it and riding it, and this is what I hear. Right. Super annoying, right? But now get this. Remember I said it was tricky? This is why it's so tricky, okay? All yesterday it was doing that, right? Now watch this. It's gone. It's not there. The clicking noise is no longer there. Fucking weird, right? This is what happens, okay? So it is a bearing issue. Now, if you guys watched my old video, when I had this issue at first, you know what I did. I sent the motor into Mini Motors USA, and remember when they got it, they said, oh, we didn't hear anything. Nothing was happening. What, but you want us to give you a new motor anyway? And I said, yeah. So they just swapped that motor out. So apparently it could come and then it could go. Okay, so what I think is happening is it's wearing out, okay? Because these bearings, they may wear out, really fast because of the amount of speed that the newer scooters have. So just so you could be aware of what the issue is, so you don't think your motor is destroyed or nothing. No, it's the bearings. And it could come and go, okay? So I just had it for the past week. I made that video yesterday, and now it's gone. Okay, so another fucking flaw that they need to fix. Like I said, no scooter is perfect. I'm not going to just say the good. I say the bad, dude. Like, come on, man. I'm not biased. But anyway, the Dualtrons are just a preference. But it doesn't mean they're perfect. They are amazing scooters, just like all the rest of them are. They shine in their own way. But there's plenty of fucking downsides to a Woof or VSET or weped, whatever, dude. I have and I own this, And I'm a regular dude, so I'm going to inform you on all that shit. So if you hear that clicking, it is the bearings, okay? Some good info that I wanted you guys to know. So now you know. All right, so next, what is the most important part of the scooter? Well, there's two, but this is one of the most important parts of the scooter, okay? And what is that part? The controller, right? The controller is very, very important. If the controller burns out or fails or whatever, you ain't got shit. You can't do nothing without a controller. Now, when it comes to the controllers, the amount of problems I had are 0. So, this controller has held up for a whole entire year. I'm also making this for people who decide to buy this, who don't know if the controller is going to burn out, because as we know, the Dualtron Storms, when they first came out, the controllers were burning out, okay? Some of the first batches, this is actually true. This is verified. You guys also know my Dualtron Storm limited controller burned up. But I got one of the first Dualtron Storm limiteds, okay? And these type of controllers, guys, you got to understand. These controllers, reason why there's no wires and all that shit, they put everything in there. This is what makes this different. The Dualtron Storms, they stand out from all of the other fucking scooters, okay? Even the Ultra 2 has a Storm controller. It's like Storm version 2.0 or something, or 2.1 or 2.0. It's a Storm controller because it's made the same. It's a little bit faster than the Storm, but they pretty much use the same technology, dude. So if you have an Ultra 2, it's the same shit, dude. Except it's just like configured different and it goes faster. But the point is that no other fucking scooter has a controller like this. This is the one of its own kind, and they make this shit themselves. They've created this controller. So that's the reason why, in my opinion, those first batches, or when they don't get it right, they fail. Shit happens. You got to understand, this controller is controlling both motors. Okay, on the Thunder 2, there's 2 individual controllers, one for the front, one for the back. I mean, just common sense, or just based off my common knowledge, that's kind of like less strain on the controller because one is devoted to another. But there's pros and cons to that. That shit has a fucking shitload, a mountain of fucking wires, like every damn where in there. You can't even move. If you could drown in wires, you can drown in a fucking Storm or a Dualtron X wires. I don't like that. Okay? You know what happens when this controller fails? Hopefully it doesn't, and it's been a year. All you have to do is take the whole thing up, take all the wires out, get another controller that's already configured, lay it down, screw it in, run the wires, you're done. You don't have to pull out all that shit and, where does this wire go and none of that. No. Okay? This scooter has benefits, just like other scooters have benefits and cons. Okay? So I just wanted to make that clear to you guys. Okay? That this controller, now I got this Storm. Here's the thing. I didn't get one of the first batches of Storms. Okay? That's when I had like my turbo wheel, whatever. And then later I got a Storm, but the Storm had released, so I didn't get it. This is a later version of the Storm, which is reason why my controller never failed. It's a good one. You know what I mean? They were having issues in the beginning. But on the flip side, my Dualtron Storm Limited was one of the first ones. So that controller, I'm not surprised that controller burned out and all that. But the reason why this is held up for a year is the reason why I have faith in them getting the Storm Limited right. Okay? Even if it doesn't go 70 miles an hour, guys, it's a marketing scheme, dude. This goes 60. It doesn't, dude. 136 miles, you're not going to get that on a charge, dude. You're just not. Okay? That's marketing. Okay? When you get a scooter, think about all the multitude of reasons you want to get it for, not just one. Okay? So, main point is, this controller has held the fuck up for a year. No burning, no nothing. So, I'm very happy about that. So if you guys are planning to get a Storm and you're worried about the controller, just know I've had it up for a year. If you guys don't believe me, go check my previous videos. Dude, I've done this. You know, this is my 4th one. You can see when my scooter was brand new all the way up until now. No bullshit. So, yeah, that does it for the controller. All right, guys. So the last thing I want to talk about here is the mapper. Okay, so that is the Dualtron Storm mapper. What the mapper is going to do is it's going to tone down your acceleration so that you have a smooth, slow start, so that it doesn't burn out so much. You know, so that the scooter's not so crazy. Now, this is a mapper. This is an acceleration. This just alters the acceleration. This is not a sine wave controller. You know, it's just gonna make it somewhat like that. It's gonna make the you know, the Dualtron a little bit more, you know, less, you know, annoying if you hate that jerking. You know what I mean? On the highest setting. Okay, so now you guys seen when I installed the mapper, so I've been riding it for a while. So now I'm gonna tell you my experience on it. I'm gonna let you know how it's been. Okay, so first of all, shout out to True Highlander, I believe that's what his name was, who was a recent subscriber too as well. I appreciate your support, man. Thank you, appreciate it. He brought it to my attention that some people were having issues with the mapper. Okay, so some people are claiming that it has fried their their throttles. Some were not moving, not sticking right, and all that. And this could happen. Okay, this could happen with these mappers. All right. As for my experience, none of that has happened. Okay, it's been working just fine. I've had no issues or nothing like that. However, I want to emphasize that you got to understand that some people do tweaks to their scooters and they add like extra accessories, you know, to their throttles to make it go faster or to do shit like that. That, I'm not saying that they did that or not, but I'm just saying that could be a contributing factor as to their shit burning out, because they may have mods on their scooter that's making it, you know, fuck up, and then you'd be like, well, whatever, I just tell them it's fucked up. That's a theory. I don't know. I'm just saying to keep that in mind. Okay. The second thing is that if this thing is not configured properly, okay, it can do something to mess it up. Okay. Now, there's 2 configurations. I'm going to go over it too. I'm going to show you what I did, just so you guys, if you want to take what I did and do it, you could do it however you want to configure it yourself, but I'm here to help. I'm just doing what I did. What I did messes up, I don't know. I went by the manual. I'm just trying to help, okay? So, but here's my thing of what I think. I think that it's either by someone having mods on their Dualtron that fucked it up. And and also just real quick, another viewer, I forgot his name, made a good point. He's like, what happens when you use the double tap feature on the Dualtron Storm Limited or Thunder 2? And I was like, oh shit, that's a good question. I don't know. But there's also another factor that I found out is the issue. Now, if you don't have, okay, so there's 2 different configurations, okay? You configure the acceleration curve that you want. Remember, I showed you guys in the video. The desired curve you want, how aggressive or how weak you want it to be. And then you have the offset, okay? Now, what I think is causing the problems is an incorrect offset, okay? Now, if you don't have the offset set properly, it's going to start doing a lot of weird things. Okay, the scooter does weird things, and that, I believe, is what is the contributing factor. Now, when I first set mine up, I thought I had configured the offset improperly. I thought I did it wrong, but I actually did do it right. But because I thought it was wrong, and because of something that was causing it to do that, which I'll mention, but I want to show you first what was happening. This is what will happen if the offset is not configured properly. Let's turn it on and show you. turn the power on. It didn't accelerate on its own this time, but let's see what happens. The front wheel is not spinning. Look at that. And look at the back. It just does all kind of weird stuff. The front wheel won't spin. It'll engage later. See, only one wheel is spinning right now. So only the back wheel is going. You see that, right? So accelerating here. Only the back wheel is spinning. So let's power it off and see what we get this time. Power it off. Okay. Just repowered it. Now both wheels are spinning, but look, it's spinning on its own. The front wheel is continuing to spin. I'm not touching it. And that's from me tapping the throttle. Look. So yeah, I'm gonna open it up and, you know, see if any of the switches got moved, but I followed the directions and it should be in the right position. So let me open it up. But as you can see, it just does all kind of multiple things. The throttle is not stuck. Okay. So then I press, see it's there, it stopped on its own. Now it's not moving anymore. Now let's see what happens when we accelerate now. Both are spinning, and they still continue to spin. See? It's still accelerating on its own, even when I've let go. That one's still going, and then it'll eventually come to a stop. Okay, so as you could see, if the offset is not configured properly, it will have all kinds of issues like you've just seen. That's just a couple of them, okay? But there's more that could happen. And that could be contributing to their mappers, you know, going out. This is just based off my experience. I'm just giving you guys information, something to look out for. Make sure the offset is correct. Now, I told you I'd get back to how my offset was messed up. Now, when I went to open my Dualtron again to, oh man, I must have set the offset incorrectly. That's why it's fucking up. Let me go back in. Now, when I opened it up and I looked at it, there was nothing wrong with it. The switches were, you know, I looked over it a bunch of times. I studied the manual. I was like, okay, this is that. I was sure I got it right. Now, when I went back and looked into my switches positions, they were right. Nothing was switched wrong. So I was like, what the hell's going on? How come it's glitching out like that? And I found out the reason why is because the switches, you know, the little switches, they're very sensitive, okay? So when you put it inside, you want to make sure it's tucked away in a corner or something. Put it under the wires, you know, where no wire is next to it. What was happening is that this is what I believe it could be the only reason. The wire was pushing on the switch, because when you're moving and you're riding on a scooter, you're going fast, acceleration is just moving all around and all that. If there's a wire that's sitting on any of the switches, it could hit the switch, push down on the switch, and then, you know, flip it. It's not really clicked all the way down, but it's being slightly pressed. So it's engaged. One of the switches, because after the acceleration is already configured, now it's only configuring offset. So you're always in offset configuration no matter what. So if any of those switches get hit or tampered with, it's going to think that, oh, you're trying to switch to another offset, which will be incorrect for that acceleration curve. Do you understand? So that's what was causing the issue. Okay, so when I reopened my Dualtron and repositioned the mapper, and I tucked it like under the wires all the way up against the wall where there was no wires that can, you know, potentially push it down with movement, I haven't had a problem since. And I'll even turn it on for you right now, and I'll accelerate and I'll show you. Let's see here. Got it on the crate, so we should be good here. All right, so I have the mapper in. God, this is hard to do. All right, So check it out. See, I don't have any issues. Works perfectly fine. No problems at all. And I got the nice curve, as you know. Let's take it off this eco mode. See, both wheels. Now let's start with a low, acceleration. See, it's working just like a dream. Oh, let me make sure it's all on high. I like to do that for you guys. Okay. Let's do that real quick. P7. Oh, it's not on the highest setting, guys. Hold on. P setting 0, 100%. 3. Eco mode is out. Okay, this is the highest setting. But even on that was like moderate settings. It's still really fast. And that's really comfortable. But check it out. Still the same thing, highest setting. Just like butter, baby. So, as you can see, I just clearly showed you guys, my mapper doesn't have an issue, okay? That's because I believe I have the offset set properly, and I have it to where there's no wires pushing down on the button. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I love this fucking mapper, dude. I love it. Now, yeah, let me get into my experience with it. Now, it's been great. I do believe... Oh, let me tell you guys. Remember, if you guys go back and watch my original one, just watch my original one. I put the acceleration curve slightly under the middle. It wasn't what was considered the middle. What's considered the middle is the first 2 switches down, not 3, okay? 1 and 2. 3, the third switch would be considered lower. Okay, not the middle, lower, 1 switch down from lower. So I was riding on that. That was cool and everything. But you got to understand, this is going to alter your acceleration curve from the factory settings. Okay, so it does lower your acceleration. Even if you use the acceleration inside the throttle, the acceleration has been altered. So a lot of it has been toned down. Now you still get that speed, but it is slightly slower, okay? What I mean by slower is it's going to take you time to whatever the max speed that you got with the original acceleration curve. It's going to take you longer to get up to that speed once you hit a cap of, fast accelerating, like when you start to creep, like, when you start to go like 43, 46, not when it's fast, when you hit your cap where you start to creep. It's going to take slightly longer naturally because the acceleration curve has been altered. So keep that in mind. So level 3 was cool, but it was just, oh God, it's kind of slow. I see why they say the advertisers say the middle is the best. And I put it on the middle, and I've been riding on the middle, and I like it. There's also one more selection to try, and that would be just a tad bit, and that may be even good too. You know what I mean? But on level 2, it's still snappy though. It's not like how 3 was. That was like really calm, but I didn't like it that slow, so I put it to the middle. Eventually, I will try just 1 just to see how that is, but I have a lot of, stuff in there. I got my tracker in there. I don't feel like pulling all that fucking shit out. I'm just like, no, dude, I'm leaving it like this for a while. I have to do my own maintenance on these things. It's annoying. I want to break. So I'm leaving it the way it is. It's fine. But just to give you guys the good info here, that's how the mapper is. Now I'm going to show you how to configure it. Let's pull it up. I'm going to show you what you need to do to configure, or at least what I did, so that you guys know how you configure it right. Oh yeah, guys, and as I mentioned before, I was going to tell you how I get this scooter not to wear, how to make the tires not wear so fast, and that pretty much is the secret. It's the mapper, the Dualtron mapper, okay? So now, no matter what freaking tires you have, I don't care if you have hard, soft, medium, all of them will wear very, very quickly if you ride on the highest setting like I did. In the beginning, I rode on the highest setting possible, burning out on every takeoff because I just love the way it sounds. People be like, what the fuck? I just love trolling people, and because these scooters are so powerful, when you burn out and people like, what the hell was that, you know? And I was so addicted to it. So much so that, you know, my tires balded like extremely fast. And then I used to do it on my turbo wheel too. That shit balded. And then one day it just blew up. The tire just exploded because it got too thin. And I was just like, okay, I got to chill on this shit. So, but even on the Dualtrons, because they're so powerful on the highest setting, even when you just barely tap it, it's just so crazy. So ever since I got the mapper, that was another reason to save on tires. So now I could start slow without wearing my front tire, because there's no way to stop the fast wear if you cannot control the beginning start. That's a downside to weped, to the weped SS and probably the FS. There's no way to alter the settings. And that thing is 20 times more powerful, like 100 times more powerful than this Dualtron. So when you take off on that thing, it's just wear. You cannot stop the wear. It's going to wear super fast. It's part of the reasons in other videos I mentioned why I can't get the weped SS right now, or FS, because I can't afford to keep changing tires because I use it every day. So pretty much, yeah, that's the secret to keeping this wear down. Alright guys, so the installation for this mapper is very easy. The reason why I didn't mention it is because when you've seen it, it's very self-explanatory. Okay, so all you're gonna do is, okay, so when you're gonna open up your Dualtron, right, and you're gonna find a wire that your throttle is hooked up to, right? So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna pull the throttle out, right? Okay, first of all, there's 3 ports here, right? The port that's all the way to the left, you see the cruise control JS24 connector, that you're not using. You're not using that at all. Just pretend it's not there. It has no use. The only one you're using is the mapper to motor controller connector and the mapper to eye throttle. So all you're doing is the first one you see here, mapper to eye throttle, and then the other one, the motor mapper to motor. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull out your throttle, right? Okay. Once you pull that connector out, okay, then all you're going to do is connect that throttle into the one that says mapper to motor here, controller here. That's it. And then the other port, the excess that's left open, all you're going to do is connect that one, the one on the far right, into the other port, the one that's over here. Easy. That's it. It's just 2 things. It's very easy to install. Okay. Now this cruise control here is for the original version. Like if any of you guys were up to par on this from years ago, the dude from Russia, I think there's a different maker. I think this is a different dude. But the dude from Russia was the guy, I think, who originally made this. And it came with, like, you old scooter head people who knew about the Dualtron Thunder back in the day, you would know about this. Because if you go back here, let me see. Okay, you see this here? This was what this was for. This thing actually came with like 2 or 3 pieces, okay? So what would happen is this was like some kind of extra functions with the cruise control, how to engage it, you know, how fast and all that. It was just extra things, which this doesn't come with, okay? I think the original maker was like Russian, and then this is like another guy making it or something like that. But anyway, the installation is very straightforward. So now, also, speaking on that, this is what I was expecting. What I said before, this is the original fucking mapper, where it only had 5 switches. That's it. You see that? On this newer one, it has 5 switches, and it has another set of switches, which is like 1, 2, 3. The one that has the extra set of switches, that says 1, 2, 3, you don't bother those. Just leave those alone. They don't matter. They don't mean shit. Just leave them alone. All right, guys. So this is going to be the first step in configuring this. This is configuring the acceleration curve, okay? This is going to determine how aggressive or how non-aggressive you want the curve to be when you squeeze the throttle, okay? This is going to determine, you know, how hard it takes off and all that. That's the point of this thing, okay? So when we scroll down here, you see the little switch box up there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? These numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correspond with that switch box that you see right above it, okay? So there's going to be another switch box, like I mentioned, that has 3 switches in it. Don't touch those. Leave those alone. Leave them all at in the up position. Don't touch them. They have nothing to do with this switch box right here. This is the one you want to focus on, okay? So when you put it in, this is how you're going to configure the curve. Okay, so you want to start from the bottom up, okay? When you start from the bottom up, you're weakening it, you know, you're lowering the curve little by little so you could feel and you could see what you want, and you stop at where you want, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to, if you look at the top, how it says 0 right there, all the switches are flipped to up. That means it's not going to do anything, okay? That means it's at its highest point, all right? So if everything's at 0, it's just like the factory setting, okay? So that's why you want to start from 6, okay? So you want to start with your first curve, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to start at 6, okay? So from 1 through 5, okay? So if you want, you know, there goes the first curve of toning it down. You flip switch 1 up, 2 up, 3 down, 4 down, 5 up, okay? That's going to be your first test, all right? Now, after you've done that, you tested, you pull it, you're like, oh, okay, I want a little bit more, okay? Then you move over to 5, okay? So that's going to give it even more of a curve, you know, acceleration curve, right? So you go up, up, down, okay? Now, this one right here, this level 5 right here, and I know it seems kind of weird, but this is the middle. Okay, 5, think of 5 as the middle, okay? Now, when you go up another one, that's kind of slightly lower than the middle. I know it seems kind of confusing, but this is what I've determined it as, and it kind of feels like that when I tested it. So when you go to 4 and you do up, up, down, up, okay, that's kind of like what I did, remember, in the beginning. I was like, okay, I want to try this, you know, this is kind of slow or whatever. This is what I originally had, okay? But then I went back to 5, okay? So 5, when you configure this, okay, and let's say you want to choose 5, you put it in up, down, okay? So now you have selected your curve. This is the one that you want, okay? So now, after I have found the curve that I want, which is 5, up, down, right? Now, what you're going to do is, you're going to have to, this is the most important part, you're going to have to set the offset, okay? And the offset is, when you press the throttle, how fast is it going to engage, okay? When is it going to start to hit, you know? Is it going to be a dead zone, like you're pushing down, then boom, then it accelerates? Or is it going to be, as soon as you touch it, pushing down, boom, accelerate? Obviously, you want it to accelerate immediately. We're not riding a Nami Bernie, okay? So you want it to, you know, accelerate, well, at least me, you want it to accelerate immediately, right? So I think configuring this offset is what's causing the issue. So the way that you're going to set that, right? Remember this switch box right here. Check this out. You see how switch 1 says on, okay? So after you found what you want, we set it up, down, what you're going to do is you're going to flip down number 1, just number 1, flip it down, okay? So now that's going to make sense why you see all these ups in a minute. So once you flip that down, never touch it again. Leave it alone. Don't pull it back up. Now we're gonna configure the offset. So then you go over here. This is the offset, okay? Now, since you've configured it already, when you press the one switch to down, your acceleration curve settings are locked, okay? Let's try to zoom in a little bit here. It's locked in, okay? So the first step, configuring acceleration, is over. It's done. Just do not flip the number 1, the on switch, up. Now you're finding your offset. Now what I did is just set it as the corresponding, acceleration curve that you chose, right? So what did I do? Let's go back. I had 5, right? Which was up, up, down, okay? So now you want to choose +5, okay? Not -5, because if you use, I'm just using the corresponding, number, from my acceleration to my offset. So you want to use +5, okay? If you use -5, you're not going to engage until like a long time, and that's not right, So as you notice, look, what do you notice by 1, okay? Down, 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 down. Everything is down, okay? Because that means it's programmed, okay? That means your acceleration is programmed. So that's why you don't want to touch on. As long as on is on, you're good. But just pick the right offset. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to +5, right? So mine is going to be down, up, down, up, down. So pretty much that's the only thing that's changed. Okay? So that's how you want to configure the offset. Just make sure it's configured right. Of course, you could try some other pluses. I did, and it feels different, but it just doesn't feel like it, flows right. I may actually fuck around with it a little bit more, but I've noticed that just picking the corresponding number, that's how it, sits right. Nothing's happened, nothing's messed up, okay? So that's pretty much how you configure it, guys. I just wanted to go over it to show you what I've done to help people out if they're having problems configuring it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And all right, guys, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I've given you a whole overview of every single thing, the videos may be long, but I mean, if you're not a long video person, then probably might not want to watch some of my videos. But sometimes I make long videos, sometimes I make short. I like making long videos. The point is you're getting information, just pause it and watch the rest of it later. But I think I'm giving you guys some good information. So, you just got to have a bigger attention span. Just get into it. Just, wow, this is some good info. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting the info on it. You know what I mean? This is just how I do it, man. But anyway, that's going to pretty much wrap it up, guys. And, oh, man, it's been a journey riding this scooter for a year. And I'm so glad it held up. I will continue to do the series, man. So, by the way, if you guys haven't seen the rest of the series, go ahead and check my past videos. I've done 3 different ones. I've had Dualtron Series Part 1, Dualtron Series Part 2, Dualtron Series Part 3, and we are now on Part 4. And I'm going to continue to make these. I'm going to continue making them. We'll see how long it goes, man. So, we'll probably do a 2-year. Let's see how long the controller lasts. So stick with me, guys. If you're, for me, if you're considering buying a Dualtron Storm or a Dualtron Storm Limited, you stick with me. I'm going to fucking really tell you what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't no big time dude, but I'm giving you some fucking good ass shit. So stay tuned with me. We're going to keep this going every 3 months. So we'll see how she does in 3 months too, as well. Oh yeah. And also, since it's the end, you know how I always do it. We got to do the grand finale, right? So let's do it, man. You know what that is. We got to check the mileage, baby. So you guys know I'm not bullshitting you. All right. I know for sure this motherfucker's going to be fucking 10K. Let's check it out. Woo, look at that. 11,111 miles. Isn't that crazy how it's just all ones? Wow, that's amazing. Dude, isn't that crazy? Look at the fucking miles I put on this thing. Who else out there that you see doing reviews that put this much motherfucking miles on their shit, giving you these in-depth miles? People got 500 miles, 600 miles. Motherfucker, I got 11,000. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys, man. You know, give you all the useful information. Remember, you got it from me first, man. And I appreciate mostly your guys' comments, you know. Shout out to the new subscribers. You know, it really helps. But, you know, people subscribe if they want to subscribe. And all the subscribers I got, I earned. So, anyway. Actually, when it comes to the miles thing, there's not really too many people. There's only one other dude out there, and shout out to him, bro. There's only one motherfucker out there that's really, at least that I know of, and that I see, you know, posting videos that has like this much miles, probably even more. Check his channel out. Is my boy Yogi Steve.
If you're wondering why your fancy e-bike gets stolen, not that this is fancy, but it's pretty nice, is cheap locks. Look at that lock, man. I could fucking break that lock with a hammer, I'm sure of it. Alright, we're not taking this 10-mile order for 22 bucks. It's more for like somebody in a car, I guess. This is a very good one. $9.66, 1.6 miles. We like it. Let's get it. Free money.
That's right. Your boy Yogi Steve, aka Electric Scooter Academy. Check that dude out, man. That dude's awesome, man. He inspired me to fucking do deliveries, man. If you want to know about deliveries and you want to know about just scooter stuff, definitely check out Electric Scooter Academy. Yogi Steve. He also does yoga stuff, so, you know, I fuck with him, so I know about that shit. But anyway, he's very passionate about scooters. He does live streams. He's really cool, dude. Like, but anyway, that's the only motherfucker that's really putting some serious miles on a Dualtron. I've only seen me and him, dude. Like, we really ride these motherfuckers. Like, we ride the shit out of them, dude. Fucking 10,000, 11,000 fucking miles. Like, yeah, and also shout out to some honorable mentions, man. Shout out to these dudes that really fuck with me and have some super positive energy. Shout out Don Scott, Dr. Dude, Kizi Ewheels, fucking Jedi Radnick Criff. I don't know if I said that right. John Richardson. Actually, John Richardson, he makes videos. Go check that dude out. He's also another good content creator on like Dualtron X material. And also, whenever he gets his Ryan, he's going to make videos on the Ryan when he gets it. You can't really find any comprehensive videos of anybody with a Ryan, but check out John Richardson. When he gets his Ryan, I'm going to be on his channel like stink on shit. Because nobody makes any fucking... Dude, I look for videos, bro. I look for especially lower YouTuber content makers, you know, real people, you know what I'm saying? Even if I was big, I'd fucking go shout out all the lower people, like, because they come with good shit, dude, like, and they're just real about shit. But anyway, yeah, check out Richardson's channel, John Richardson. He has good Dualtron X info if you're interested in that scooter. Also Grinchy Face, shout out Dustin King, shout out OK Dope, Chan Alvin, Stephen Hopkins, man. I really appreciate you guys, man. You guys give me the, you know, energy and enthusiasm to keep making these videos, even though how much I work. I'm actually taking a day off to do this for you guys. No money today. I figured, let me make this. It's a special occasion. It's the 1 year, and there's a lot of people who fuck with me. So I appreciate you guys, man. I hope you guys stay safe, and you know, as always, I hope you guys are all doing good. You know, always keep your family tight, man. You know, always appreciate life, man, because, you know, we're not guaranteed tomorrow, man. Anything you're going through, you can get over it. I'm actually a good motivational speaker, dude. Eventually I'm going to do a lot of stuff other than scooter reviews. Just right now, I'm just doing scooters, but I really appreciate you guys, man. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.